How's everybody doing, man? Out here talking to you guys tonight. Going to change it up a little bit and talk to you about the Super Bowl. If there's one thing you know about me and my beloved New England Patriots, I love football. So I got you can't miss analysis and you can't miss predictions. If you decide, that you're one of them people out there that bets, you might want to pay attention because I got the crystal ball right here and I see how the game's going to unfold. It's going to be amazing. So we got the Kansas City Chiefs, 15-2 record going up against the 14-3 Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be a barn burner, a rematch of Super Bowl 57, where the Eagles were up 10 points at halftime and Kansas City just started clawing their way back and they ended up winning the game, breaking Jalen Hurts' heart, who played his ass off that day, threw for over 300 yards, ran for another 70, had 3 touchdowns, and I tell you, he's probably really pissed and really motivated right now. That's for damn sure. Kansas City is favored by 1.5 points. So let's do a little analysis real quick. So total offense, regular season and playoffs. One would assume that Kansas City was better, but they weren't. Philadelphia was better in every single metric on the offensive side except for passing the ball. They scored more points. They ran the ball better. They were better on third down, all that stuff. Way better. Kansas City had a little edge in passing the ball. So better. I don't know. How the hell is Kansas City 1.5 point favorite? I don't know. We'll see. Total defense. Guess who was better across the board in every single metric except for one defense by 3 yards per game? Philly. Philly blew them out in every single metric possible and had a similar pattern in the playoffs as well. Okay, so you're probably saying, what the hell? How is that possible? Well, let's go into another metric that kind of matters in football, where the turnover battle. Is Kansas City better or is Philly better? The reality is Philadelphia was way better than Kansas City, to the point where Philadelphia was 6th in the league this year and Kansas City was 12th. Philadelphia was plus 11 in the turnover margin. Kansas City was -1 in the playoffs. So the other important part about this, Philadelphia in the playoffs has not turned the ball over not one time yet. Not once. Kansas City's turned over once. And Philadelphia is plus 11 on takeaways. That's just in the playoffs. It's crazy, right? So why would Kansas City be a 1.5 point favorite when Philadelphia has a better offense? Philadelphia has a better defense. The turnover battle, they smoke Kansas City in. I mean, smoke them. And turnover battles, the team that wins turnover battles wins football games 78% of the time. It's crazy. Well, the reason why is because of a guy named Patrick Mahomes. He's kind of good, even though, my guy behind me, my Patriots collage that you see, Tom Brady, whipped his ass twice. It's all good. No offense to Pat or anything, but it happens. But that dude is real deal. 7 years on the road, they've either been in the AFC Championship game or in the Super Bowl. And that dude is a baller. He's like a magician with the football in his hands. He can scramble. He can do it all. So he is, I believe, the best player on the field, and he can potentially flip some of those advantages. Another one is Andy Reid. Andy Reid is right now probably the best head coach in football, I believe, 100%. And I think he's a better coach. He's just got so much more experience than Nick Sirianni. I remind you that last season when Philadelphia was having a tough year coming off that Super Bowl, that Philadelphia, the city of, was calling his head to be on a chopping block, right? Like they were like fire Sirianni and stuff when they lost their playoff game last year, right? Steve Spagnuolo is a magician on defensive side of the ball. One of the best in the business. He really flips a lot of momentum towards Kansas City's way, to the point where Patrick Mahomes, on the other side, you got Vic Fangio, who's with Philadelphia, but Patrick Mahomes is like 7-8-0 against Vic Fangio, which is insane, right? I think another thing that is a big advantage is that Kansas City hasn't allowed a 100-yard rusher yet this year. They allowed one. Lamar Jackson in week 1 ran for over 100 yards against Kansas City. Since that game, nobody has ran for over 100 yards against Kansas City's defense. And now you're talking about strength versus strength. The run defense of Kansas City versus the strength of Philadelphia's offensive line in their running game. It's going to be a clash. It's going to be a real clash. It's going to be serious. And I think the last point I would say is the kicking game. We know that in the Super Bowl that those extra points and those field goals are going to make a huge difference. And statistically speaking, Harrison Butker is much better percentage on making his kicks than Jake Elliott. So that kind of almost levels things out, in my opinion. And I think the other thing is the it factor, right? Like Kansas City with all this experience. They got all these guys that have been there before. They've been through all these sets and reps more than Philadelphia has. So it's going to be a barn burner of a game, man. I'm really excited to watch it. My prediction, based off of what I just told you, I'm going to go with Philadelphia because I just believe in analytics and stats and data, and I understand that Mahomes is tough to beat. I get all that stuff. I'm going to go with Philadelphia on this one because the score is going to be 31-24. They're going to win the game. I think Philly's going to get out to they're going to get out to a lead. They're going to hold the lead. Kansas City's going to come back a little bit, and I think that Philadelphia is going to slam the door, come about halfway through the fourth quarter because Philadelphia has the grand slam, which is that offensive line, which is a bunch of damn graders out there just plowing friggin' lanes. And Saquon Barkley, I'm sorry, that dude gets loose. He's gone. He's been doing it all season. And you want to talk about a motivated guy? He might be the most motivated dude on the field. Right now, he's like an alien out there. He's just so much better than any other running back. So I think that's going to be the one. And the last thing I would say is that every dog has its day, right? No team has ever won 3 in a row. Not impossible. Kansas City can do it. They do have the tools to do it, but that's a very, very hard thing to do. Not only that, if you recall the regular season, Kansas City, every week it seemed like they were in a nail-biter game, and a lot of people will say the refs are bailing them out, and the refs did this, the refs did that. I tell you, eventually that's going to catch up to you, and that's why I think Philadelphia is going to win. I just think they're stronger, a little bit more powerful. I think they're a little bit tougher in the trenches, better defense, and I think that they just have that home run ability to help free up Jalen Hurts and his receivers to use play action passing, and I think they're going to win that football game. All right, so Jalen Hurts, you're the critical guy. Don't make me out to be a liar. Hold on to the damn football and don't throw no interceptions, and I think good things are going to happen for you. Hey, let me know what you think. I'd like to hear about your predictions, who you think is going to win. Please drop comments and everything. So there you go. That's your free bit of advice for the week. You got 3 days till Super Bowl. Everybody be safe. I hope you guys have a great week. And hey, let's have a good time on Sunday. And if I'm wrong, please, I want all the smoke. Bring it all to me, all right? Hey, hope everybody has a good one, man. It's been good talking to you guys. Be safe and have a great time.